Даня, мы очень рады тебя видеть у нас в гостях.
Взаимно. Очень рад всегда к вам приезжать. Как у вас дела? Я знаю, что вы серьезно выросли за последние полгода.
Да.
Мы не виделись, и Дима назвал какую-то астрономическую цифру в количестве брокеров.
Да, мы уже где-то под 400 мы уже поднабрали.
400 брокеров.
А сколько мы были, когда ты в прошлый раз тут был?
Человек 150, по-моему.
50 было? Ну да, немножко больше, тогда 2 раза выросли.
Да. Ты руководишь всеми этими брокерами сейчас?
Ну, по отдел продажи, да. Да.
Как тебе с таким количеством людей?
Ну, у меня менеджеры много, которые помогают мне. Мы очень много пытаемся делегировать, чтобы на одного человека много ничего не висало. Так что справляемся нормально, очень хорошо. У нас структуры хорошо уже, как это сказать, вмешаны наши инфраструктуры в компании.
Сколько у тебя руководителей отделов?
Вау, окей. Тогда уже зависит от демографии у нас. 9 менеджеров. Либо менеджеров, либо директоры. А под ними где-то тоже по 30-35 человек о каждом.
А они справляются с таким количеством людей?
Некоторые да, некоторые нет. Как еще? Это же продажи. Надо же менять постоянно людей. Ну, не всегда надо. Но все хотят думать, что они хорошо умеют продавать. Это же игра коммуникации. Да? И каждый из нас думает, что мы способны этому. А когда мы уже начинаем эту игру играть, это совершенно по-другому. Не каждый из нас продавец. Ну, приходится нам менять либо наших сотрудников, либо менеджеров, и мы пытаемся адаптироваться каждый день практически.
А сколько людей доходит до первой сделки? В процентах?
Вот хороший вопрос.
Выходят на работу.
Хороший вопрос. Где-то 60%.
60%?
Да. На первую сделку доходит.
А как вообще люди...
Но это как-то грустная цифра, потому что
нет, это нормально,
по 40%
она честная.
Где-то сколько не получают первую продажу, значит? 150 человек?
Давай возьмем поправку на то, что это огромный рынок, к которому все бегут, и каждая, условно, стюардесса, прилетая сюда, видит, на чем ездит она, на какой машине, на какой ездят брокеры, которые были раньше тоже стюардессами и стюардами. И она такая, надо попробовать. Авось получится. Вот. Чуть ли не как лихорадка ведь в последнее время. Я от кого только не слышу из своих знакомых, кто послушал мою историю, как я сюда пришел, они такие, вот в какой-то момент, когда им что-то тяжело становится на своей работе, они такие, может, тоже к тебе пойти брокером в Дубае поработать, авось получится. Поэтому нет, я думаю, что нормально, 40% даже. Я ожидал, что больше людей отваливается.
А у тебя был момент, Дим, что ты такой переживал, что у тебя ничего не получится?
Этот момент наступает тогда, когда у тебя заканчиваются деньги, и тебе приходится брать в долг.
Он врал бы, если сказал бы нет. Каждый из нас это чувствует.
Да, конечно.
Сколько денег нужно, чтобы жить в Дубае?
Я думаю, что можно очень аккуратно и вполне себе комфортно жить где-то на $5 в месяц с учетом аренды жилья, аренды автомобиля, причем немногие арендуют автомобиль, кто-то ездит друг с другом. Кто-то может снимать комнату, комната будет стоить $800. На еду нужно, баксов 30-40 в день, наверное, поэтому, да, такие суммы получаются. Более-менее комфортно, уже ближе к 8-10 тысячам долларов, примерно так же, как в Сан-Франциско, по моему опыту.
Сан-Франциско ты проводил там время, да?
Да, у меня получалось вот так же, где-то $200 в сутки у меня же day-to-day life.
$200 в сутки?
Ну да, с учетом аренды автомобиля, какого-то простого недорогого жилья. Не long-term, а такого вот в формате, что я на 2-3 месяца приезжаю. Но по знакомым, кто там живет, так же примерно получается, потому что все-таки живут в...
Ну, ты какой-то, не знаю, высокого уровня выбрал на $5000 в месяц.
Здесь?
Я не думаю, что это так много. Нет, камон.
Мне называли, кстати, такую же цифру.
Серьезно?
Да, но это такое, скорее, не выживание, а вот поддержание того уровня, который у тебя есть в Москве. Допустим, если ты хочешь жить так же, тоже, жить в каком-то нормальной квартире, там, не знаю, без особых изысков. Есть, не знаю, в ресторанах, там, не знаю, передвигаться.
Жить нормально, ты имеешь в виду, да? Не экономить на каждом шагу. Да. Ну да, где-то так тогда да, выйдет 5000. Но если любой человек, который прилетает в Дубай, допустим, и он смотрит, или она присматривает потенциал подстроиться под какой работе и начать какую-то карьеру в Дубае, я бы сказал, меньше. Половины даже это достаточно.
Для абсолютного начала, да. Если тебе нужно прям на бровях вытащить свою жизнь и просто дать себе возможность здесь вырасти.
Просто зависит от, кому мы этот вопрос задаем. Потому что если человек мыслит прилететь в Дубай и работать, нет, 5000 это много. Это не доходит до этого. Особенно если там человек одинокий, да, там женщина или мужчина одинокий. Кстати, русский поломанный, так что попытайся понять меня. Окей, так что 2-3 тысячи долларов, 2,5 это достаточно. Абсолютно языка.
Я знаю случаи у нас с брокеров, кто жил вообще в машине несколько месяцев, пока сделки не начал закрывать. И сейчас это потрясающе успешные брокеры.
Ага.
Умышленно или просто денег не было?
Денег не было.
Господи, ты так наших будущих клиентов не пугай?
Но, по слухам, это было пару лет назад, и сейчас я таких брокеров уже не встречаю у нас.
Да, кстати.
Да.
А в Москве как, кстати?
В Москве в машине не поживешь, конечно. Конечно, Москва отличается тем, что большинство брокеров, у них нет такой сильной потребности прям зарабатывать здесь и сейчас. То есть мотивация, что ты должен зарабатывать, конечно, но тебе в основном есть где жить, у тебя, скорее всего, есть какая-то, не знаю, подушка с прошлой работы, у тебя есть друзья, у которых ты можешь, не знаю, там, если что, занять денег. Здесь этого всего просто нет. То есть основная мотивация брокеров, как я понял, в Дубае, это то, что у тебя нет вариантов. Ты если ты приехал, все, ты должен работать, должен цепляться зубами за каждого клиента. В Москве намного более relaxed, знаешь, брокеры.
Там своя страна, как ты говоришь, да, свой народ, и то есть запасной подушки много в разном виде, да. Семья, друзья, бывшая работа.
Да, то есть ты всегда понимаешь, что даже если, там, не знаю, мне нечем будет платить за квартиру, то я перееду, не знаю, к маме, к друзьям.
Да.
Если не будет еды, я схожу где-нибудь к друзьям, поем. Или всегда можно очень дешево существовать.
Да. А почему нету такой стимул именно для... Хорошо, смотри, да, я формирую этот вопрос тогда. Я вижу много молодых ребят, которые приезжают сюда. Именно с амбицией построить карьеру.
Да.
Они голодные для денег, прям и готовы работать и по 13, 14, 15 часов в день. Это нету, что ли, в России?
Это есть, конечно, есть. Вопрос в том, что, если взять 100 человек по умолчанию, из них, допустим, 50 там будет на релаксе, который никуда не стремится и спокойно. Еще 50 будут какие-то более активные. И из них там будет, не знаю, 10, которые будут хотеть развиваться в этом моменте, прям, строить карьеру, посвящать себя целиком работе. И из них, наверное, 2-3 будут готовы переехать для этого. То есть Дубай поэтому так и ощущается, наверное, потому что сюда доходят эти 2-3. Приезжают, которые достаточно смелые для того, чтобы попасть сюда. То же самое, кстати, в отношении Москвы. То есть Россия же сама по себе огромная страна с кучей маленьких городов, или больших городов, но с маленькими доходами. И тоже только часть людей, которые доезжают в Москву, для них это всегда событие. То есть попасть в большой город, приехать, снять квартиру, там увидеть вот эти небоскребы, и получить какую-то работу с зарплатой там, в 3-5 раз больше, чем ты получал у себя где-нибудь в маленьком городе.
3 и 5 раз сложнее получать же эту работу. Конкуренция у тебя там гигантская, если не ошибаюсь.
Вообще сейчас, вот в текущем моменте, в Москве жуткий недостаток людей. Как в целом, на самом деле, по России. То есть сейчас не безработица, а вот наоборот. Недостаток кадров. Все рекрутеры жутко ноют на предмет этого. По разным причинам. Потому что там классные люди разъехались, кто-то перестал там, не знаю, там искать работу по тем или иным причинам. Недостаток мужского населения серьезный. Тоже в связи с событиями. То есть, как бы сейчас такая вот история.
Почему ты думаешь, это так происходит? Ладно, геополитику мы не будем обсуждать, да? Какие другие причины ты видишь? Почему это так происходит? Много больше каналов, где можно зарабатывать именно деньги, да, допустим. YouTube, сейчас много компаний гигантских, которые предоставляют другой способ жить, другой способ работать, да, допустим.
Да, я думаю, ковид еще все местами поменял, когда началась эта волна возможности работать удаленно. У меня у самого было искушение просто уехать куда-то, где дешевая жизнь, например, в Осетию, в Дагестан или за границу куда-то, и работать оттуда удаленно. Я думаю, еще тогда многие начали менять свою жизнь, уезжая из больших городов.
Полностью возможно, да.
Да.
А вы там как это видите? Тут, потому что я согласен с Димой. Я думаю, что ковид тут сильно ударил город. Много кто начал с офиса не работать.
Ну да, возможность работать онлайн, конечно, это ковид супер дал преимущество тем, кто могут работать онлайн. Еще тенденция, которая сейчас в России происходит, международные компании, зарубежные, точнее говоря, компании, очень быстро просекли фишку на тему того, что в России сейчас с учетом девальвации валюты можно дешево покупать людей. То есть сейчас средняя зарплата в России, даже вот я уже Россию даже не беру, просто в Москве там $1000. $1000,
окей.
Да. И поэтому те компании, которые там находятся, не знаю, там где угодно в других странах, они понимают, что здесь можно брать людей, в Москве можно брать людей онлайн, и они будут делать маркетинг, будут делать дизайн, будут делать, не знаю, IT, все что угодно. И это будет дешево. Что мы часть людей тоже потеряли, потому что мы, говорит, очень любим компанию, но вот нам пришло предложение сейчас там, $1500, и это классные деньги. Да. Сейчас рубль упал.
Да, мы замечаем это.
Да, в связи с этим такая история. Как вы, кстати, сейчас ощущаете, с учетом изменения курса рубля с русскими клиентами? Как они на это реагируют?
Дим, как ты ответил на это? Ты больше, чем я, находишься в рынке.
Текущие клиенты, которые начали свои графики оплаты в начале этого года и в конце прошлого, они себя комфортно чувствуют, потому что мы их всех предупреждали об этом, что мы с нашими инвесторами всегда работаем в формате «давай посмотрим, какие риски, где у тебя сейчас деньги лежат, какая у тебя структура доходов, что с ними делать, как защититься от валютных, соответственно, рисков. Поэтому те, кто заходил раньше, они себя нормально чувствуют, они к этому были готовы, по крайней мере, наши клиенты.
Я думаю, они бесконечно счастливы, когда увидели, как выросли их доходы.
Да, и доходы их, соответственно, выросли уже хорошо, в плане того, что кому-то нужно кэшиться, они кэшатся и с радостью получают валюту с хорошей доходностью, там 25-30%.
В рублях покажите еще доходы на инвестиции.
Да, в рублях. Аналогично в тенге, например. Очень много людей из Казахстана заходят. При этом в Казахстане доходность по вкладам начинается от 18%. У них средняя доходность по сделкам в недвижимости в тенге тоже, как в Дубае, 30-40%. Но при этом это тенге, и они видят постоянно, как у них меняется валюта, курс валюты, и поэтому, конечно же, многие хранят постоянно свои доходы в долларах и вкладываются в иностранную недвижимость. По поводу тех, кто сейчас заходит на рынок, это, как правило, люди, у которых все-таки сбережения были в валюте. Все, у кого не было сбережений в валюте, они даже больше не смотрят на рынок Дубая. Тем более, насколько я знаю, не могу быть точным, потому что я сам свечу не держал, не проверял документы, но, насколько я знаю, гражданам, которые уходят на СВО, гарантируется обеспечение их ипотеки в случае смерти, их семьям. И, по-моему, там что-то, первый платеж не надо платить, что-то такое. Поэтому такие, так сказать, небольшие инвесторы, они также переквалифицировались на покупку недвижимости в России, внутри рынка. Вот так мы это видим. Но при этом больше и больше людей, которые вот русскоязычные, но уже не живут в России несколько лет, они все чаще и чаще обращаются к нам. Ну, у них доходы в валюте, им интересно.
Мы познакомились где-то год назад. А как вот за этот год поменялся рынок?
Объем увеличился по вторичке. Буквально последние 2-3 месяца сократился объем сделок в первичке от девелоперов. Но это связано больше с тем, что регулятор начал жестче контролировать процесс выдачи разрешений на строительство, потому что прибежало огромное количество новых девелоперов, которые захотели что-то строить. А у старых, я так понимаю, пайплайн был, в принципе, таким образом запланирован. И сейчас мы видим, объем сделок в общей массе он увеличился по сравнению с прошлым годом, но так что в прошлом году было примерно на 15-30% сделок в первичке больше, а сейчас эта разница преобладает во вторичке.
Но еще нужно уточнить, в каком смысле ты имеешь в виду этого вопроса?
Да,
как это повлияло на российского рынка или международного рынка в общем?
Да, правильное уточнение. Я действительно хотел спросить, как поменялось поведение российского покупателя за последний год?
Вот я с русскими клиентами не очень часто работаю. Я только с англоговорящим рынком работаю. Так что я должен отдать эту Диме.
Ну, как я сказал, что поведение... Слушай, все как хотели не смотреть перспективу дольше, чем в год. Большинство. Так и продолжают. Многие хотят смотреть на инвестиции с оборачиваемостью в полгода, в год. Это нормальная стратегия, она здесь применима на этом рынке, благо. Но во много более редких случаях, чем стандартная там, в 2-3 года, 4-5. Я думаю, что это все-таки из-за культуры, из-за изменчивого мира, из-за того, что все видят, как все меняется вокруг, в мире в целом, и думают, что здесь, наверное, тоже небезопасно долго держать. Хотя как раз арабский рынок показывает, что если ты закладываешь на перспективу 10 лет, ты вообще безошибочно выигрываешь. Если ты смотришь на полгода-год...
причем.
Да, вообще без исключений. Вот. Полгода-год, там нужно очень хорошо выбирать. 2-3 года где-то, наверное, в 80% случаев, если ты во что-то плохое не вложился, заведомо понятно, плохое, например, нам, то это прекрасно тоже вырастет, 30-40% годовых ты на этом делаешь. В некоторых хороших случаях в проектах, которые мы заранее знаем, что они стартуют, например, у МР был новый район целый запускался. Такого давно не было. Это было, по-моему, весной. Да, туда на 2-3 года заходить идеально. То есть в ближайший год это не будет расти, через 3 года там появятся первые здания, и все полетит. Конечно же, здесь намного лучше применима 3-летняя история, так же, как и с большинством объектов в арабском мире. Абу-Даби возьмем, Яс-Айленд или Садият. Садият уже побыстрее застраивается, уже скоро будет готово почти все, поэтому туда можно и на 2 года, и на год заходить. А например, Рассельхайме, где у нас появляется местный стрип, это как в Лас-Вегасе, линия с казино, там все полетит только в 2027 году. А перепродавать можно будет только инвесторам, наверное, в ближайший год-полгода, тем, которые уже хорошо понимают эту локацию и будут готовы выкупать, но не с большим премиумом.
Я могу еще немножко добавить, тут просто с другой точки зрения. Да? За последнего года еще что изменилось? Один огромный фактор – это очень много денег зашли в наш рынок. Очень много. Что стоило 2 миллиона дирхам год назад, 1,5 года назад, готовое, где люди хотят жить. Много народа появилось в нашем городе, которые имеют больше финансовой возможности и постепенно начали выгонять все старые, допустим, тенанты и люди, которые живут там.
На английском.
Давай, no problem. So a lot of new tenants have moved into the markets. And slowly, gradually, they have started to kick out the old tenants who were paying a certain rate. If I'm paying 100,000 for my 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, some other richer bloke is going to come along and say, hey, I'm going to pay you 150,000. Kick the other guy out. It'll take you 1 year, but you can do it. And this is exactly what's...
Yeah, but as I know, you cannot easily kick out.
You can't, that's right. That's
you
right.
need to notify 6 months before? Right?
1 year before.
1 year before.
It depends on the reason for why you're asking the person to evict.
Abu Dhabi, 2 or 3 months, by the way.
2 or 3 months even.
Yeah, but in Dubai, 12 months.
So I'll talk about it from this perspective. In the last 1 year, what has changed? A lot more money has entered the market. And astronomical amounts of money has entered this market, right? But nobody's salaries have gone up that astronomically, right? White-collar jobs are still being paid the same as they were 1 year ago, right?
Yeah.
What has changed? More financially capable people have entered the markets. So we're seeing a shift of demographic internally, right? And prices, we don't know if it's artificial yet or not.
Prices went up.
Prices went up gigantic.
Everyone's coming to Dubai trying to rent something. Дима.
Я задолбался, честно. Извините,
Yeah.
я 3 недели ищу себе апартаменты, которые в 1,5 раза дороже теперь, чем я арендовал. Я кусаю себя за локти, что я не стал арендовывать на год. То, что я мог арендовать сейчас за 60-70 тысяч дирхам, сейчас это 90-110 стоит. Аналогично с краткосрочной арендой, что стоило 7,5, и сейчас в сезон вообще до 14 поднимают. X2.
You
Да.
need a car. You need a car in the city.
Yeah.
Да,
Ну,
машина
абсолютно,
$1000 стоит в аренду, баксов 200-300 ты будешь тратить на бензин, если ездишь
Yeah,
часто.
that was a joke about you can always live in the car.
Yeah, for sure.
Кофе пей, кофе.
Yeah, I'll bring my RV.
немножко.
Yeah, I see many of our clients now interested in other areas, not just Dubai, like talking about Oman, talking about Bahrain, Saudi. What do you think about these markets?
A few of them just sound amazing straight away. In the Middle East, there's only 3 main business operating countries, which is Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. These are the 3 financial business leaders of the Middle East. Right? It would make sense that a lot of people are now looking into these areas. Qatar had the World Cup, didn't they? I mean, what was it, a year ago?
Yeah.
Right? So Saudi's already been seen as an emerging market already, right? They've pumped in a lot of money into their own GDP that has been segregated into the real estate segment. So we are going to see gradual or maybe astronomical increases there as well, right? But a lot of businesses have shifted as well to Saudi.
But do you see people investing there, like from the people which you work with?
The local market has started looking into Saudi, 100%. The international market is still looking into the UAE. Perhaps elsewhere as well. We don't have that kind of exposure, right? We work with our own local jurisdiction and products. But yes, whoever we've had locally who are either homeowners or considering buying properties at some point have now expanded their views into the region, which includes Saudi and it includes Qatar as well.
Do you see some of your competitors here from Dubai going to Saudi at the moment?
Well, if I'm going to tell you straight up then that there's only 4 main contractors left in the UAE right now who are operating at 100% capacity. The rest of them, they've moved to Saudi.
Oh.
Right? So that's a big sign. Okay, so consultancy groups, contractors, main contractors, a lot of them have started shifting their direction to Saudi.
That's nice. Nice opportunity. Do you plan to go there someday?
Considering we have an Arabic department, we will have to, right? No matter what, we are going to go there. What we're going to do there, well, the future will tell. Maybe we'll put together a project there together. Maybe we'll get into joint ventures with certain companies. Maybe we'll have a satellite office there and push the local market there, for example. We'll see. There's a lot of opportunities there. And it's still an expanding market, right?
Yeah.
Every quarter, there's something new going on there. So we'll see. We'll adapt to whatever's going on.
Yeah. By the way, talking about other business opportunities, not just agency business, do you do some other businesses like buying land? I suggest you're interested into developing your own projects, or maybe I don't know, upgrading premises and reselling them is also popular. Do you do any of these things?
We cover the entire spectrum of real estate. I'm going to let Dima chip in as well here.
I was just going to say that our main new branch of the business is car wash now.
Car wash?
Yeah.
In case you need to sleep and keep your home clean.
No, I'm joking, of course. Yeah.
But we do everything from the spectrum of real estate. If it's that industry, we have our hands on it. That goes from renting, to sales, to property management, to liquidation, acquisition, obviously, as well, to holiday homes, to bloody hell, you can name it. We're gonna be associated.
Business services.
Business services as well.
Project management consulting.
EVA is already a holding group, essentially, working towards that way. And under the umbrella of the companies, we have about 5 different segments within the real estate industry. So we are expanding as often as we can inside of our own segments. And very soon, the next step is developments. Right? So we do hope to start buying land as a company, right? And we're going to start putting together our projects. We've already done that on a low scale, right? And we've done already in a medium scale as well, where we're doing joint ventures with other companies, either with developers, contractors, whoever it may be, or consultancy groups. But us as an entity to go from, and it's difficult in the UAE, it's difficult in the UAE because you don't construct the same way that you do in other parts of the world. You need to have a consultancy group, you need to have a developer, you need to make sure that the contractor is chosen by the developer. You have to be tied up with the government as well. You have to be tied up with the banks if you're not self-financing the project. There's a very intricate, complex system that needs to all integrate well together for you to be able to do this. For one entity to do that all on their own, you don't see it very often. You don't. Think about some of the biggest developing names in the UAE, right? EMA, for example.
You cannot compete with them. Yeah.
We can't compete with them, but that's not what I'm trying to impose. Is that even a developer like EMA, they're a developer, right? Yeah. They might have a consultancy group, but they also have a main contractor, which sometimes they have to tender out, right? To keep all of that internal within one structure, it's not an easy thing. It's quite a difficult thing, actually. I don't know how many people do it here. Maybe Shoba, because they have an internal contractor and a development license. Right, and a fit-out license as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's their way.
Right, maybe they can do everything all under one house, but I think even they will finance their projects from the banks. But don't quote me; I'm not too sure on this. They wouldn't self-finance their projects.
If you don't mind, we covered a lot of business questions. If you don't mind, I'd ask some personal ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long are you in Dubai?
In Dubai, I'd have to count, but in the UAE, nearly 31 years.
31 years.
Yes, in the UAE. But that's between like 4 of the states.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where did you live before Dubai?
Where did I live?
Yeah.
In Russia, in Dagestan. Good old Dagestan. Я там родился, в Дагестане. Да, в Дербенте, в городе. Я когда был еще мелкий, меня сюда привезли.
Хорошо. Ты когда был последний раз в Дагестане?
2017, I think. 17 or 18, one of those years. Yeah, 5 years ago nearly.
Давай расспросим, откуда у тебя такой качественный британский английский, и почему ты уже на нем сейчас больше говоришь, чем на русском. Я так понимаю, ты еще немного понимаешь по-арабски.
Да. Ну, мне пришлось, слушай, как я могу...
А как так получилось, что ты знаешь английский как британец, а не как дубаец?
That's a good question. Смотрите, кстати, насчет будущего, кто присматривает, да, в дубайской... школы, детей обучать и все тут это, и семью расти в Дубае. What's good about the UAE is that almost all of the schools are international, right? So you're going to put your kid there, and it's like a lottery. They're going to come out with some kind of accent, I think, right? I don't know what it might be. It might be a Latino accent, it might be a British accent, American accent, whatever. But it's so multicultural and diverse here that it turned out for me while I was living is that in my schools, most of my best friends, most of my friends and family, essentially like godmother figures, basically, were all from Britain, all from England. Right? So if I spent maybe half my life with my family, the other half was with my British family, you could say. Right? So
how did it happen? Now you can understand some of Dagestan or Russian people come here in Dubai, but 30 years ago, how did it happen? What your parents did here?
Так, у нас в то время было... We had basically a small business. We were doing an airline chartering business back then. There was an airplane provided by the Dagestani government, and we were managing it between Makhachkala and Sharjah at that time. And we were operating it 2 ways at that time. So that's why we were here.
Is it still a direct flight from Makhachkala to Sharjah?
I think there is still, yes. I think there is. In fact, I'm certain there is. But I'm not sure if it's from Dubai or still in Sharjah. I think it's gone to Dubai.
Oh, okay.
All right. But you've been in Dubai a few times as well, haven't you?
What do you mean?
You've been in Dubai plenty of times as well, haven't you? How many years have you been coming to the UAE now?
Well, actually, first time I came to Dubai was like 3 years ago.
3 years.
Just once, and I didn't like it at all.
That was post-COVID time, that time. After COVID?
It was just before the COVID.
Before COVID?
It was COVID already in many of the countries, but for some reason, Dubai was open.
Да, у нас была так расслабленная ситуация.
Yeah, so, and we had tickets for Dubai Opera, for some concert, which were presented by friends. And we came there, and that was last visit anywhere before the COVID, and afterwards we just set it.
But then you see a very big contrast, don't you? Before COVID and now after COVID. What is your opinion of this place?
Yeah, but I didn't understand much about Dubai. That's why I didn't like it also, because I thought I understand Dubai. I thought I know it because I lived in Marina, so...
you never get to Dubai.
Exactly.
It's like a lot of layers. I'm still uncovering some of them. Like, for example, last Monday I traveled to the desert and spent a night there watching the meteor shower.
You went after?
Yeah, from the Tauridis comet. And that time, after like 3 or 4 hours in the desert, I realized that this is real nature. Like, if I like to go to the forest back in Russia, really I started understanding how to go to wild nature in the desert. Before that, I was thinking like, it's desert, you cannot see anything there. It's just a lot of sand. But no, there's a nature there, and there's a lot of it.
See, there are positives from the fact that you didn't find an apartment yet.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Take your car, go to the desert. What about for you? Have you seen anything in this 3-year transformation that maybe is similar to what you saw in Moscow?
Yeah, I think the first and best fact of New Dubai is the people, because there are so many people came here in Dubai. I have plenty of friends now. There are nice communities. There are nice new friends which you can get here, and it wasn't here 3 years ago. It's now Dubai changed, and
for the better or the worse? For the better or the worse?
For the best, of course.
Okay.
Absolutely. And these new areas developed. There are so many other green trees and everything. So
you can no longer tell that you're in the Middle East when you come to Dubai.
Yeah,
you can't tell that you're in the desert anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that this Dubai Hills community changed the opinion of Russians to Dubai a lot, because that was like a significant project for the area. It's not that all of the people, they do live in Dubai Hills, but still they see this area, they see the pictures, I want to try.
Yeah.
And they do try, and afterwards they find themselves in GVC or whatever, but still, with a small or bigger budget, they come here because they understand, I have an option, and I need to make money and to live in Dubai Hills or Damak. I don't know. I'll stay in.
But it's such a beautiful place. You really leave the city when you enter that area.
Yeah, absolutely. What area you live in now?
I've moved to the Palm not too long ago.
Yeah.
Right. It's what you would expect, but a lot more people now are there. A lot more people. I think that almost every property in the Palm now is rented. It's crazy. And you see Russian and hear Russian everywhere now. Господи, 1,5 года назад мы где-то уже примерно 2 года живем в Палме. 2 years ago, you would walk by, you would hear many different languages as you walk across. И у нас на Хилл Молл против нас тоже. Хороший, обстроен, большой, гигантский молл. И мы слышали каждый язык там долгое время. Вот последний год 80% что мы слышим там это русский. Just bloody Russians everywhere. Russians everywhere. Господи, вечером, утром, днем, in the mall, in the park, in the jogging way, in the motorcycle track, on the beach track, everywhere. Right? So for the Russians it feels like they've never left home.
By the way, I stayed in different areas, never in Palm. Never in Palm.
Never in Palm? Why?
No, I don't know why.
How come? You never liked this?
I don't like. Few times I had to go there, and I've stuck in the traffic jams. So no. By the way, I stayed in the hotel once. But regarding the apartments, I just didn't consider this option because I think that I don't like living with Russians around you a lot.
Fair.
And also, my opinion about Palm, it's about touristic things and about the, many cars, many people, beaches, and all these things. What's your what do you like about Palm? Why you stay there?
The only reason I decided and said yes to my wife when she wanted us to move to the Palm was because they removed all of the speed bumps. Как это называется по-русски?
Ближайший полицейский.
No, they removed most of them from the Palm. God, 10 years ago was a disaster there. To get from one side, to enter the Palm Jumeirah and then reach the end, God, it would take you maybe 25 minutes just on the Palm. Right? Now at least they've reduced that by half, I think. So it's a nice area. I mean, look, let's be real, right? Objectively, why it's a good area. If you're a family-driven individual, man or woman, doesn't matter, right? Yeah. To have your child beside the sea as often as possible, to make sure that it's as low pollution, low density as possibly can humanly be provided in an area. Palm is great, right? There's greenery everywhere. There's oxygenated place. It feels really nice and lively over there. So from a family's perspective, I would say you'd be a fool not to look at the Palm, especially if you're financially capable of managing it, right? But I don't think everyone will be.
And there are also schools in the Palm, right?
There are
no. Or you need to bring this.
No, there's nurseries. There's nurseries there. Yeah, schools close by, opposite of the Palm. So if you I have a son, for example, we send him to school. It's 7 minutes to his school, 7 minutes back. It's really close. Right? As soon as you exit the Palm, you got an array of universities and a few schools over there.
Причем одни из самых хороших.
Да.
Я для своих клиентов делал анализ. Немного мест, где, то есть в Дубае есть очень честный рейтинг школ. И помимо того, что есть разные куррикулумы, International, British и American, большинство классных школ расположены как раз в основании Пальмы, рядом с Дубай Хиллз и парочку в сторону даунтауна. Вот такие концентрации силы с точки зрения классных школ в Арабских Эмиратах. В Дубае именно, в частности.
Да. У меня есть подруга, с которой я познакомился в момент, когда она искала школу в Москве. И я понял, что сначала мы ей помогали, а потом понял, что мы не можем ей помочь, потому что она слишком дотошна. Докапалась до всей школы. В конечном итоге она нашла какие-то идеальные школы, но случилось СВО, и понадобилось переехать сюда вместе с мужем с работы. И она посмотрела школу здесь, в Дубае. Она сказала, что любая, даже самая худшая школа, которую я смотрела, была лучше той лучшей, которую я смотрела в Москве.
Той лучшей, которую она нашла в Москве?
Wow.
Ничего себе.
Просто что уровень здесь школ намного выше. Потому что они все идеальные с точки зрения, качества постройки, идеальные с точки зрения учителей, программы, счастливые дети бегают вокруг. То есть это вообще совершенно другой уровень. Поэтому дети, конечно, здесь должны быть супер счастливы.
Я могу сказать от своего опыта. Я тут прошел несколько школы, and they are bloody good. They are really good educational centers. Right? Технологии, которые используются в школе тут, come on. Whiteboards everywhere. Most kids at the age of 7 now have a laptop in school, an iPad. What the hell, yeah. It's high standards here. Not that technology means much, but I mean, they do try to keep a certain standard. Yeah.
Да, это не Аргентина, где физику начинают учить только ближе к high school.
Слушай, у вас, we in the UAE, maybe not in the UAE, but we in EVA, for example, have a very particular way of how we operate our market, how we hire people, how we send them off, how we train them, how we try to make sure they're as educative and as consultative to their clients as possible. What do you do in Moscow there? How are you and your competitors, for example, How are they taking on these challenges in Moscow? Because Russia is much bigger than the UAE, tremendously, right? UAE is like a tiny little speck across Russia. But the population of Russia is also much bigger as well. Your level of competition is significantly higher there, I would assume, than it is here, right? How do you go about your business in that manner? You have a lot of competition there, internally for the agent and the agency.
Yeah.
Я думаю, может, по-русски
We do
расскажешь?
luxury.
Давайте по-русски.
We do luxury real estate segment in Moscow, and once we decided that all the luxury real estate companies in Moscow meet together and do some sort of cooperation.
Okay.
Collaboration agreement.
Yeah.
That sounds like cronyism.
Yeah, so and then like we made an association of luxury real estate companies. In a bit that there are 50 of them, so it looks like a big competition. But when I came here in Dubai, and I was like, you remember me? I was thinking you're the most smartest guy in the world, but you understand very quickly that it's even if you one of the best in Moscow. Here you don't need to compete just with Russians. You compete with all of the world.
That's
and
right.
That's different. That's absolutely different because every country has their own strong parts of the business. For example, I was thinking at first that my big advantage that I can use the outsource people in Moscow. How can I compete with Indian companies about the outsource? Imagine how many they pay.
But have you thought about trying to compete with the international markets if you were to move here? How would you do it, for example?
It's not about like thinking. You do not expect that much. But when you come and when you see that, you hear the Russian speech a lot.
Yeah.
But still, if you go into any cafe like around the city, for example, I'm now like living in Greens. I went to the cafe, no Russians. There are all of the different nationalities, but no Russians. And I'm not sure about the percentage, maybe 15% of Russians here.
Okay.
Like around that, yeah. That's what I feel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So there are big, strong businesses like British people. I'm pretty sure there are like every CIS like Kazakhstan, like Armenian. I met Armenian guy today. He also made like an agency. So like everyone is here, and that's what I love about Dubai, and that's what makes you more stronger and gives you more ideas about what you do in Moscow. So
have you seen anything here that's kind of contributes to your way of thinking? If you like some things that you want to take from Dubai as lessons that you want to bring to Russia?
Dubai was like my very good and hard teacher, and I saw a lot of things which I brought to Moscow, and especially agents' attitude. How do agents in Dubai work with social media? It's amazing. I kicked the asses of my agents like for many years about, hey, do Instagram, like write social media, write posts, start Telegram channel, and they like, they don't want. There are no clients go to Instagram. One of my agents, which was the most противник, как сказать, противник.
It was the most resistant.
Most resistant agent came here in Dubai, and what I see after a few months, he do Instagram, he making reviews for the new areas. He's now like the blogger. He started the Telegram channel, and what I do, I show him to my agents in Moscow. Hey, look, that's what competition makes you.
Yeah.
Makes you do.
I think that's what I love about Dubai, from a perspective of a free market economy. right? Because we sell the local markets, but our competition is not internal. Our competition is fully external, as you say. And when you have such a global exposure, it will demand one thing: competence, right? If you are competent in what you do, you will scale the ladders of the economy, right? And I mean this for the brokers, and I mean this for the brokerages and agencies, for developers, for the government, everybody, right? So, and that's created by competition, right? You and I might be coming into the market, me and Dimitri, for example.
Yeah.
He's an agent, I'm an agent. Now, he's slightly more competent, let's say, more energetic, he has a little bit more willpower than me. He's ready to go an extra step, right? The level of success he will meet as opposed to me, because he has that drive and, let's say that level of abstract thinking and thinking outside of the box to bring in as much as you can to yourself with all of this exposure, right? It's an incredible observation that only happens here from what I have seen. Mm-hmm. I've been to many parts of the world. I've not seen it in the UK. I've not seen it in the African countries. I've not seen it in Russia personally, but I've not had a lot of time spent in Russia, right? But I've not seen it in Asian countries either, right? You are literally forced here to compete with the world. And when you're scaling the competition that far, right, it really turns the agents into something incredible. They turn into entrepreneurs almost, don't they?
That's this I wanted to add. So I think here the mindset of agent works more like an entrepreneur than back in Russia, because when you're in Russia, you feel yourself, as just an employee, and you have to do what your employer says. But that's all. That's your limits. That's your boundaries. And here you boundaryless, because you can go anywhere. You see a guy who was sleeping in his car 2 years ago, and now he has like 3 or 4 Lamborghinis, and all is because he was going out of his boundaries. He was making everything he can, and the agency just gives you the platform, gives you the knowledge, helps you with leads, helps you with psychology, but everything else you have to determine by yourself. You have to reinvent yourself in order to compete on this market.
Yeah. To compete on a high scale. Yes, on a high scale. And I love what you said there, that most countries, I'm not going to speak for most countries. Most countries I've been to, right, is exactly as you said. Here is your task, please complete your task, right? And maybe in Russia it's, I don't know, you have an apartment, you need to rent it out. This is how you rent it out, and that's it. There is no form of self-thinking in terms of, okay, my employer's given me a task to do, right? They've given me the instructions into how it's done, right? There's no form of self-thinking there in terms of how can I do it more effectively? How can I do it maybe minus 7 hours that's required from my employer, let's say, as they would want it? There is no form of thought like that. But here, you are forced to learn. You have no choice. Because if you enter the off-plan and under construction market here, the level of competition is so high that you have to learn yourself, no matter what. I might be somebody who's been experienced in this market for a very long time, but there's no way I can communicate this to a new agent. They have to learn themselves. They have to say, okay, there's 100 developers up there and I need to go learn. And I need to find the most effective way of proposing this to my client. Not the same way that 15,000 agents will do. Not simply by calling Danila and asking, hey, what do you want? How can I help? All right? You want a 2-bed, you want this view, fantastic, let me send it to you. There's certain agents I see out here who have a very creative process of exposure, of relationship building, right? They're not the same robotic, sedentary, docile people you hear every single day, right? I need to articulate that a little bit better, but I think you get the point.
This is the only, not the end of the story, because on the second hand, you need to know a lot of people in the market in order to get something. The stock-wise,
yes.
You need to know a lot of people who has some stock for your clients. You need to know particular people in developer company, because if it's really sweet deal, it's over even before the sales started. For example, when Palm Jebel Ali was starting, my colleagues were literally pushing themselves out of all their possible limits in order to take even one villa from a hill. It was a huge problem because the whole market, the whole world was hunting those villas, and only a long relationship before that that sales helped our brokers find some stock for their clients.
This is how our local market works, and I have a question for you. Actually, two questions. It's like, you know that the dynamic of the UAE is the strongest. You know, the strongest will survive. The strongest will make it out there, right? In your local market, there, I'm assuming. But you've mentioned already, you have a lot of lazy agents, maybe who are there, but because they have to work, they have to make some money for whatever it is, right? How do you stimulate these agents, right? Because here, it's not like the company has to come and tell you to work. It's not like the company needs to tell you to make your phone calls or go and do anything like that. It doesn't need to tell you, here's a property, please go list this. Please do this to find your clients. Do this to rent it out, right? Do you have that issue? And if yes, how are you addressing this?
Thing is, the terms are the same. I mean, the agents don't get the salary. They still have to do the job in order to get money. So from one opinion, that should be enough to stimulate agents to do the things. But at the same time, it's not, because you still need to control them. You still need to check. You have to have CRM system which shows agent should call this particular customer like Thursday at 10 o'clock. And when he called, you see that in the system. If he didn't call, you see that in the system. And afterwards, you do check the calls. How did he call? How did he speak to the customer? There are many systems which now can show, even without listening, that AI checks whether there are like tone of voices.
I've seen AI do crazy stuff already. Doesn't surprise me it can do this.
Also, what we do send fake customers. We check how the
window shoppers,
viewing
right? Sorry, window shoppers, surprise shoppers, mystery shoppers.
Mystery shoppers.
That's right.
So, and that's what you do. You keep the people under control, and you get rid of the worst ones, and you bring on the best ones. And also the best ones. Sometimes, I have people working for like 10, some of them 13 years already in my company, and they have their ups and downs. Person get divorced, or like her dog died, and still she has to answer the calls. And sometimes you need to understand that.
That's motivation for you. That's motivational for the team. Sure.
Yeah.
That needs a bit of motivation.
Yeah. And also what you mentioned, you need to give all the options for the person to learn. When I started, it was like nothing. It was like, hey, there's a guy, he wants to see this apartment. Can you go and show it? And that might be the first day at work for the person. And now the person goes there, gets the keys, and shaking because there are like customers from Canadian embassy coming to see it. And of course, after month, 2-3 years, you become more and more professional, confident. People believe you, people calling you back, people recommend you to friends, and everything. That's how it works. Well, I would say it's the same here, but there's still an sort of ethic here in Moscow about how you work with other agents. Here you always have the other agent at your back.
Yeah.
Some of them hold a knife, trying to steal your client, trying to give the discount to the client, even if the client
good
already.
Good topic, that's.
Yeah. So in Russia, it's different. There are still like ethic. Hey, we work with this customer. Don't call him. That's still might happen, or the owners. I already called this agent. He's already working. He's advertising my apartment. That's not ethical for me to work with you. It's like I don't feel it here.
There is no moral standard here.
Yeah.
There are no ethics.
Especially if you have a international customer. Hey, it's like driving here.
I can't say no. I'm lying. There is some, sure.
There are some, but some.
But it's rare.
That depends on the nationality.
What are Apple's plans? What are your plans for the next year, let's say? How are you seeing your market expand? How are you seeing it come maybe to a bit more of stability? Are you thinking of maybe expanding from your local market into international markets? What's your plan for the next 12 months?
That's still what I understood, that you need to be here in order to be successful. Because when I'm here, everything is happening straight away. When I'm trying to do business in Dubai, working from Moscow.
Explain what you mean by that, though. I mean
physically.
Your business is in Russia. You visit the UAE every now and then. Just for the viewers to understand, what do you mean by that?
I mean that I have some processes here in Dubai, and I have my clients going to Dubai. But when they realize I'm physically in Moscow, they lose some sort of belief in me and that I might be professional enough in order to provide the service for them. Okay. So that's why I see that they go in with other agents and they don't call me. But immediately when I go to Dubai and start posting the Instagram from here,
your phone just gets blown up at that point.
They start giving me some projects. Hey, let's do this, let's do that. Mm-hmm. We have tasks for you, and all of this. So that's more about my personal decision now, whether to go to Dubai long term or whether to stick in Moscow, because in Moscow it's at the moment. I have 2 kids, so living with me, and wife. She have everything settled, like nannies, kindergartens, and everything. So that's the decision, whether or not you need to decide and move. And I still hadn't made this decision yet. I'm still trying to do 50-50.
As far as I remember, you were looking for a property for yourself in Dubai, lastly.
Yeah, but not long term. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I was thinking about that, but you know how all Russians, it's already late to rent long term. It's already high, but I suggest there will be even higher rates next year. I'm pretty sure.
That's a very controversial statement. Why do you think this?
The rates will go
because I think if you say that in the speakerphone outside, people are going to come and start shooting you, saying, "No way, it can't go higher. You're crazy. What's wrong with you?" Why do you think that? Because I agree with you.
Because I see that in terms of the country, it's not about the specific apartments. It's about the country. It's growing. Many people come here. The economy growing. The businesses are growing. The Dubai looks more and more attractive to the business people and who brings employees here. So I do believe in Dubai long term, and I do believe in this MENA region also. Yeah, and so that's why rents go higher.
God, I wish they don't.
Yeah. And
very tired of these rents going up.
And historically, they always go higher. If the sales price go up, you definitely will see 3-6 months rentals go up. Mm-hmm. So we do lots of rentals in Moscow, and we always see this. We know that, hey, We know that.
Don't you think that's just because of inflation? Governments are printing money non-stop. So naturally, since they're printing more money and it's getting into the hands of not the masses but the few, right? It makes sense that the property prices and rental prices keep going up. Don't you think it's just driven by inflation?
I don't think that.
Well, not just, predominantly, predominantly by
yeah.
inflation.
I don't think that inflation affects the rental prices. It's more about...
It does, though.
It does, but I would say...
it does very directly.
There are other direct reasons. First, salaries should be higher, because you can only afford better apartment if you have better salary, better income. And if the people start to get more money, and at the moment all of the salaries are in rubles and not, I would say minimum of businesses have this automatically increase rates. You need to push your salary up if you don't talk to your owner of the company. Hey, they will not go and raise.
100% they will not.
Yeah. So that's why if people do earn more money, they can afford more and more bigger price to pay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So and also with the currency, I would say it's not just the inflation. Russians do run and buy real estate when currency go down, because they do not believe in rubles.
Sorry to interrupt there, but in a short-term scale, like if I zoom into a particular epoch and say, okay, this is 0 to 1 years, for example, yes, currencies can fluctuate very rapidly. But the further I zoom up that picture, 0 to 10 years, 0 to 50 years, the rate will go up like that.
All the time,
right?
Yeah.
No matter what. No matter what. That's obviously, not obviously, but I mean, it partially has to do with fertility rates and how many people are on the planet, and inflation, how many more new bills is the government printing? And to which hands are they going into, right? How many new bills of money, of fiat is being printed, right? So those are also very stimulating figures. And if you zoom out far enough, the ruble, I mean, come on. There was a time where 1 ruble probably costed 10 dirhams, 6 dirhams, 5 dirhams, or 2 dirhams, whatever, right? But now with the amounts of more money, more rubles that have been printed over the last 30 years, right? Things have become much more expensive. Maybe artificially so, fine, right? But it's a one-way streak, and it's only going up no matter what. So I'm coming back to the original question. You said that property prices still have a way to go into the future, and you believe that next year they'll keep going up. I agree with you. People are going to send pesos from different parts of the world. People are going to send yen from different parts of the world, from euros, US. All of that will be converted internally into dirhams. All of that. The more people start taking mortgages, the more developers that come into the country, the more debt that is accumulated in the country, right? It gives the banks the only reason they need to keep printing more money, right? So simply because I buy something for 1 million today, in 10 years from now, if the inflation rate's 10, for example, if I sell 1 dirham less than 2 million, I'm actually making a loss. There's no profit in that for me, right? So I believe the prices will continue to go up no matter what. And again, the further you zoom back the picture, the further you push back the time scale, the higher it will go, right? So that's my understanding of it, right? That's my logic into it. So do you see any differentiation there? Do you see a different picture altogether?
No, I see the same. And let's try another part of the medal. How they say it? What potential risks for Emirates market do you see?
Oh, I see quite a lot.
Volatility in low-rate buildings and low-rate apartments. So luxury segment, premium segment, they always go higher. The question is only the liquidity. When the market goes down, It's just they stop selling.
That's right.
But they're not selling cheaper. And as for the like low rate options, people have no money to cover the payment plan, and they'll need to sell them. And if there is no demand on such buildings, and if people start losing money, people start considering selling for at least some money to get their cash back, because they cannot afford to cover their payment plan. So the main risk only in volatility of some bad options, and this is already happening, and this was happening all the time, but for the last 2 years there was a lot of people who bought everything because they were like spray and pray, like this is a growing market, I will buy anything, just give me the point. Yeah, and there was there's 3,600 and the US 3,626th agency, yes, opened in Dubai, and there is from 20 to 500 people in each agency. And as we discussed, like 40% they're just going back and forwards from their original jobs to here,
like tourists.
And of course they are trying to sell anything at any source. Of course they some of them are sold something very bad, and of course there's some part of people who bought something which is really bad. And this time, the next 2 or 3 years, I think this is time when people who bought something not very good, they will face this problem, as I said, that no one would like to buy this property at so much high price, and people will face the risks that they will go and sell their properties as a distressed deal and lose their money, or something worse will happen.
Question about big risks. I've got some of my clients talking about Dubai like 10 years ago, because Dubai was growing and they were really happy about these investments, but then the market fell down like I think twice, right? The prices went down like significantly.
So it was 2008 was the housing market crash.
Yeah.
2014 was a bit of a silent recession.
Yeah.
Then we had COVID, and now whatever the hell this is another form of recession, because obviously the purchasing power has gone down. You don't see the same level of transactions and volume anymore. It's not gone down drastically, but it has gone down by about 15%, right? So...
But do you remember this period when the market...
I remember all of them.
Specifically, Emirates market went down. How?
Which one of them? Was it the housing bubble crash?
My suggestion was that there were people stopped believing in UAE because of the taxes, the taxes they implement. So that's was my opinion, my thought.
But we went into that's a little bit incorrect, because after the introduction of the taxes, which is a VAT, and it's only 5%, and it's not applicable to property anyways, so you don't pay that. Regardless of that, after its implementation, we saw another hype. We saw another boom in the markets, right? So I don't think anything has to do with the taxes. Maybe the corporate taxes are a little bit scary, right? The 9% corporate tax that's coming in. But most companies will reclaim majority tax anyways. There's no concern here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the main reason of previous market falls was the market here was really young. Now I see a lot of companies moving here, not just like employee entrepreneurs, like single entrepreneur. There's a huge corporations moving here from Asia, from Europe. Man, I saw one of my clients. They are working on the line in Saudi Arabia. I asked him why your main office is here, not in Saudi Arabia. He told me, I cannot move my European people to Saudi Arabia. This is not the best place for them. Dubai is much better, and they can move back and forth. It's very close. So even huge projects started in Saudi Arabia. They brought many companies to Dubai to open their head offices for MENA region in Dubai.
A lot of big Fortune 500 players are here now.
Yeah.
With a lot of headquarters based in the UAE as well.
Yeah, and they're here for long.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of the dynamics of recession to boom, what could you really say? I mean, your question imposes what exactly? Is it the risk associated? Or is it the difference between the periods?
My question is, people buy when they believe in something. There might be some government decision that will make people stop believing about the Dubai. Because at the moment, what I think about Dubai is Dubai is the best government corporation which I see in the world. The decisions they make, the plan they have.
It's inspirational.
It's absolutely. That's also one of the reasons why I do love Dubai. But what if that changed? What if they change this plan? What if they, put more taxes? What if they, go into? There are lots of changes in the world in terms of Arab world to the other world at the moment. Yeah, so any decision might drop this market. That's
might be,
but
because it's not like we have a vote in what happens, right? It's not like the public can decide where that direction goes. But you have to look at it from the perspective of what does the city offer you in terms of potential, prospects, for existential reasons, for building a life, for building a career, etc. Right? And I think taxes fall so far on the bottom of the chain of worries that it almost is irrelevant. Looking at what the UAE has done over the last few years, we've shifted our weekends, which used to be Thursday, Friday. When I was a child and when I was in school here, it was Thursday, Friday, our weekends. Then it became Friday, Saturday, which was already controversial. But the Arab world took upon it and they said, okay, let's do it. Then it moved to Saturday, Sunday to be able to compete with the Western markets. Fucking hell. Come on. Right? It is going in a particular direction and you'd be a fool not to see it. Right? Now, how that will influence or impact us, well, the future will show. What we can talk about is the present day. And that future might be very far away. It might be. Right? Because I think the UAE will have more interest in competing between the emerging Gulf nations or maybe the Middle Eastern nations like Saudi and Qatar before they concern themselves too much with Europe, Canada, Australia, China, etc. Right? So I think that's a faraway future, personally, I think. And while the opportunity is on the table out here, and in the meantime, you should be looking at it and you should be taking it.
And the budget of the country is not as simple as your pocket. You cannot change your mind on the go. And they already planned a lot of budget money in their perspective to 2030, 2040 projects. And they already budgeted into this project. And it will take a lot of effort to change those plans, to add something to them. So, and they are pretty transparent in that, and we can see that. And so I can tell you definitely that what will happen in 10 years or 20 years. I cannot see something what will happen after this time period, but come on, 20 or 30 years with our clients, most of them are looking into 1, 2 or 3 or 5 years.
He's absolutely right, by the way, because the UAE has put it into public, their plans all the way up until 2040. All the way. Public knowledge. Right? So If that doesn't give you confidence and belief in this market, at least until 2040, I don't know what will.
Yeah, and there is a cultural aspect. They cannot they cannot lie, as far as I remember. As far as I understand, Arabic people, they cannot make faces as people in Americas or in Europe do. They just cannot do this because this is opposite to their culture.
Beliefs, yeah.
Yeah.
Opposite to their beliefs, correct. Yeah. So maybe there's a little bit of bias towards us in favor of that, perhaps, yeah.
Okay, guys. I think we can only wish good luck to each other.
100%, man.
Inshallah.
100%.
And what I feel about Dubai, what I did feel when I came here, that I'm at the right place at the right time.
Agrees.
Yeah.
Agrees. Just like Charlie Munger always says as well, when you have money, it's always a good time to invest. You're here now, it's a good time to take opportunity of what you have here.
Absolutely.
I think Dubai still has so much more to offer. It will have plenty to offer us. And then further down the line to our children as well. The UAE is still far from constructed.
Yeah.
Like if you talk about the real estate segment here, it will go on for many years. Right? So we're in the right place and the right field, I would say. Agreed with you. You plan to leave the Russian market at some point? You plan to put a focus here?
No, I'm not leaving.
Not leaving, sorry, but maybe like a second eye on the UAE markets.
Yeah,
is that the plan?
I would say at the moment it's still 50-50 for me. Because still I have this child in Moscow.
Are you not concerned though, Danil? Because I mean, I know a lot of your competitors came out here to this market.
Yeah.
Some failed, some succeeded.
Yeah.
Right? Are you not concerned about the failures? Because majority were failures, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's the same in Russia. You know, people do fail, so. That's about whether I think if you really want to do something here, especially in the real estate, you will not be a failure.
Okay.
You will be in any case. You'll be successful. It might be small success or huge success, but still. Sometimes you just need the demand for the service which you provide, and you need to have the resources in terms of do this business, and that's enough for the real estate market here, because it's growing. It's much more difficult working in the market which is going down, and here
I think we can disagree with this. Because a market that goes down, still plenty of opportunities to take there.
Yeah, but that's about the not about the prices go down. That's about the transactions, which sometimes people like.
The market just freezes.
That's the worst for the real estate agency. And that's what's happening at the moment, in Germany, for example. So here it's different. So here, especially if you have knowledge and experience in real estate, even in Russia, hey, you go here, you dedicate yourself to doing this, and you'll be successful in some of the roles which you might take. Sometimes you shouldn't I think the mistake many companies do, they do start the business themselves. That's my mistake also. Yeah, but because
why is that a mistake though? I mean, that's
because.
And when you say yourself, mean
because there are so many companies, and you can always go to the company, join some company, do something together, and not start all over again and again and again. That's
a pain in the ass. I agree with you completely.
That's a pain, and that's slower and everything. Yeah. So.
But don't you think it's a more logical or pragmatic step for somebody entering the market to maybe go join a company first, see what it's like, then think about doing something on your own?
The best way is to work as a real estate agent, just to understand the market, how market works, and that's not my story at the moment, and you also have to move like 100% to the other country, but still that this is the way it works. The way you understand the client more, the way you understand the market more, you study, you understand everything.
Incredible journey, eh?
Yeah, but that's the world is changing, and we see many people travel, connecting, doing businesses together. And nice. I'm still very happy that I met you. And,
Likewise, mate.
Yeah, it was nice conversation.
100%. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out, man.
Thank you.